Hello, my name is Greg Harradine. I'm a composer, and on today's episode of Good Art, Bad Art, I'll be discussing the latest Taylor Swift album, The Life of a Showgirl, which is out today. I've listened to it twice through. I'm going to share my honest reaction. Now, I don't consider myself a Swiftie, but nor am I anti-Swift. So this truly is my honest thoughts on the first album I've actually listened to all the way through by Taylor Swift. Obviously, I've heard lots of her songs. You can't escape them, can you? But this is the first album I've sat down and listened to properly. So I release these videos every week, and I discuss a different song or album or composition, so please suggest what I should talk about next. You can leave a comment, you can even send me a video. Yeah, check out the video description to find out how you can do that. But what do I think of The Life of a Showgirl? Well, in short, I found it had a strong start, an excellent start. I loved the first two tracks, The Fate of Ophelia and Elizabeth Taylor, but then it really suffered a downward turn, and much of the rest of the album I found homogeneous and quite safe and forgettable, with with strong moments peppered throughout. Let's get into detail. Now, so the album, it follows hot on the heels of Tortured Poets Department, which was out last year, and suddenly got another new album. This is inspired by her life as an entertainer, and I think particularly her recent tour and her recent, burgeoning relationship with someone called Travis, I believe. I don't keep up to date with all the celebrity engagements, but even I heard about this celebrity engagement. She was working with Swedish producers Max Martin and Shellback on this record. And it's her 12th album, her 12th studio album. You know, she's very experienced. She knows what she's doing, does she not? 12 albums. And she's only 35. I think that's right, 35. She said one of her goals on this album was to create infectious melodies. Yeah, which I think is partially successful. And she described it as being a vibrant and lively project, which is quite different to the mood of the Tortured Poets Department. Anyway, so yes, a strong start, like I said, The Fate of Ophelia. Yeah, and boom, we got some Shakespeare references straight away, which I'm a fan of. Sounds good to me. And even in the album art, there's that reference to Ophelia, drowning, the famous painting by John Everett Millais. We actually have that as a print in our guest room. Anyway, so yeah, Shakespearean, and it's not just a one-off little reference. She knows her Shakespeare. She's referenced Shakespeare, I think, several times before, and this album as a whole has a few Shakespearean references dotted throughout. Ophelia is obviously the eldest daughter of Polonius, and indeed Taylor Swift, I believe, is an eldest daughter. Track 5 on this album is called Eldest Daughter. But my favourite Shakespearean reference comes in track 10, Cancelled, which is I think, the strongest track in the latter half of the album. One of the lyrics is, "Something wicked this way comes," which of course is from Macbeth, right? And interestingly, so the previous line, "Something wicked this way comes," is by the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. This is the witches, the weird sisters, right? And in the lyrics, Swift references, she doesn't say by the pricking of my thumbs, but some of the lyrics are, I like my whiskey sour and my poison thorny flowers. Thorny flowers could very well prick a thumb. Also, she says, a shattered glass is a lot more sharp. Yep, again, we could prick our thumbs. And we're the ones with matching scars. So it feels like she's kind of saying, look, I'm here with my witches, with my weird sisters. We're together here. We're the ones with matching scars. Yeah, by the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. So nice to have some Shakespeare. And yes, track 2, Elizabeth Taylor. A good track, and I thought this album would be a lot more upbeat, frankly, from the kind of description of it, being about the life of a showgirl. But, this track's kind of dark. The first 2 tracks are both on the darker side, I would say, and I like that. Yeah, I think it works well. But then, as we move on, Now listen to this. Track 3, track 4, track 5, track 6. What do they have in common? Opalite, father figure, eldest daughter, ruin the friendship. They're all in the same key. They're all in the key of G major. Why does that matter? Well, it does matter because the ear gets used to that key and it's just the same, right? It's just the same for 4 entire tracks. It's too much. It's one thing having a couple of tracks in the same key in a row, but 4 tracks. You feel yourself getting slightly bored. Even if, many people, of course, aren't musicians, don't know about keys as such, but I think everyone you can tell. You can get this sense of, oh, it's the same again, same again, same again. And, Taylor Swift, she's quite meticulous in how she writes her songs, I believe, and plans her albums. It has to be deliberate, but I think it's a failed experiment, a bad idea. 4 tracks in the key of D. Another thing is, too many of these songs are I feel just slightly on the slow side. There are some faster ones, but a lot of these songs are like 70 beats a minute, 80 beats a minute. It's meant to be about the life of a showgirl. Surely we want it to be a bit more upbeat at times. I mean, it is at times, to be fair, but just dragged a bit. Track 7, Actually Romantic. I just want to mention this because it's the exact same chords as Where Is My Mind by the Pixies. Exactly, and in the same key, the key of E. Very specific. If you've ever heard Where Is My Mind, you're going to recognise it in the opening to Actually Romantic. Again, she must be aware of this, but I don't know, maybe there must be a deliberate link, but I couldn't hear a link in the lyrics. Let me know if you have any information on that. Something else she does far too often is having the same chords in the chorus as the verse. Exactly the same chord progression. Again, it can work, that can be fine, but not in like too many songs. Probably about half the songs on this album have the same chord progression in the chorus as the verse. It's too similar. It gets boring, yeah? To use a Shakespeare quote, there's a quote, I think it's from King John, life is as tedious as a twice told tale. I think that's right. And at times I felt this album is tedious, yeah? Like a twice told tale, we're getting given the same stuff again and again. So there we are. I'm running out of my time on my 8 minutes. I just do one take, 8 minutes. So a strong start. It faded from track 3, really, with a bit of a boost for Cancelled. Track 10, I like that. The last track is Forgettable with Sabrina Carpenter. But Taylor Swift, as always, great vocalist. She's an excellent singer. Love her vocal harmonies. Some decent production. My score out of 10, I give it 52. So not bad, but not really for me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.